There we are. We got it.
Hey.
Hey, everybody. It is awesome
Hi.
to see you for the April 24th, no, not April 24th, April 3rd episode of MVP Office Hours. We
Number
have,
300.
yeah, number 300. 300 is crazy.
It is
And
crazy.
it is a long, really, influential and inspirational time. I mean, I don't know how many people have been listening or attending or participating or hosting from the very beginning. But boy, there's some great stories and some great people part of this. And I know I'm blessed to have been part of this. I hope you feel the same, Joy. I know
I
you
do.
do.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
so, without further ado, let's get through the silliness, and then we'll get to the good stuff. So, we normally meet on the first and third Friday of every month. However, because of TDX and a 5-week month in May and some other scheduling challenges, we have a slight adjustment for April and May. We'll be meeting on the 24th and then the 8th and 22nd, or the 2nd and 4th of May, which will put us right back on track in June. Hope that's not too much of a disruption for all of our attendees. Um, Before I forget, you all know, but if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm Squire Kirshner. I'm joined by my co-host Joy Shutters Helbing and a lot of great people. Uh, I like to say that you don't have to be an MVP to be on this call. You're MVP because you're on the call. So welcome. We can be reached on LinkedIn or in the success community. We also
Mhm.
have a Gmail. Don't use the Gmail.
No.
Let the community help you. It's not just for us. As far as events coming up, there's a lot kicking off with TDX in a week and a half, followed by Mid-Atlantic and a bunch of Salesforce events like Tableau Conference and Connections, and of course Dreamforce in September. Local community events include True North and Dreaming and Data, and Midwest Dreaming is in July. Witness Success also in July. Um, I believe Witness or not, sorry, Midwest Dreamin' extended their submission deadline by a week or 10 days.
I
So if
think
you
I
had
think
a,
through the ninth. I'm not sure though.
oh, so
So
next week. Okay. So if you were on the fence, I know they could use the help and the support and the knowledge of the community. So quick shout out to that group. And if there's
Mhm.
anything we missed, please raise your hand and let us know. They're all available on salesforce.com/events. And hope to see you there in person.
I put the link for the Midwest Dreamin' submissions in the chat.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thanks, AI. 300 episodes is crazy.
I didn't wear that dress today. Here, let me take my glasses off. That's a little better.
We need another photo. I keep using the same photo over and over and over for all of our AI stuff. So,
Well, we'll have to connect at TDX because I'll be there. Maybe
yeah,
maybe you'll be
absolutely.
there.
And I'll be
Maybe
wearing
you'll
my
be there.
t-shirt, so we'll get another t-shirt shot too. I was impressed by how photo accurate all of the attendees are. I mean, I recognize all 8 of those people.
I, this is true. This is
Yeah.
true. I recognize the people in the back. This fantastic. That's fantastic.
Ground rules, got to
Oh,
go through the ground rules. Everyone is welcome to share their experience, their insights, their ideas, their success, their failures. We're all learning from each other. If you've got a question, post it in the chat or raise your hand in the chat or in the app, and we will get to you in the order that they're received. You saw it when we kicked off, but remember that this call is recorded. And that means a couple things. Don't share anything private or proprietary on the call if you can. We
mm.
would prefer not to put anyone at risk, and I can't be trusted as far as my video editing skills. So let's keep that as safe as possible. We'd ask everyone to not leverage AI tools to transcribe this call, especially if you plan to post. Let's keep this social and singularly relatable. We want to have fun, but we're going to stay professional and positive. And as always, we're only as good as the group. So tell a friend, invite a peer. The more the merrier. We're all better together. The QR on the left is your success community link. If you're not familiar, that's the best place to post your questions. If you've got one not during this hour of the call, the community is an amazing option for solving those problems and not waiting for us, especially when we keep rescheduling on you. And I know, Jay, I think I saw you had a question that got a ton of responses, and I think you even got the answer you wanted. Can't wait to hear about it. And we had a couple other people join us as well. So we'll go from there. And
Fantastic.
with that, um, so it was an interesting week on success because I
Hmm.
think everybody either got the answers they wanted, or there were a couple zombie threads that popped back up but ended up being solutions as well.
Hmm.
So I think we'll start with the first one, which was Bill and I. Yeah, Bill, you're on. I see you had some flow questions that like the community came together and helped you out with, and then did you solve it yourself as well on top of that?
Well, sort of, but not quite. I'm still stuck.
Okay, well,
Now,
give us a rundown.
here's the rundown. It's an existing opportunity entry flow that starts with 5 checkboxes, and they check off. They might do 1 and 2 are always checked by default. So then it's 3, 4, or 5, or all 5 of them, that kind of thing.
Okay.
What they want me to do is put an indicator bar going across the top. But the thing is, that indicator bar is dependent upon what they chose for checkboxes. And I'm, for like options 1 and 2, it seems to work fine. But when I go to like 1, 2, and let's say 4, it it shows for some reason it shows all the options in the bar, and it has these dots that just show up randomly. Okay, I don't understand what's happening. And what I've
Okay.
done is,
What's the
you know,
goal?
the goal is to show a bar again, show a bar across the top, so that when they start and they choose options, say 1, 2, and 3, they'll see 3 things across the top, and then they'll know how far they are, how far they have to go to get it done.
And this bar's in the screen flow, like at the top of all the choice
Up
selections, is that right?
top of all the screens.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill, if I check 1, 2, and 4, do I still see 3 out of 5 in your progress bar?
You see, yeah, that's what's happening. That's
So
what
you
I don't
only want to,
understand.
so you only want to see in the progress bar the things they've checked, right?
Checked, exactly.
So are you trying to use the flow progress bar or which progress bar are you using?
I'm using the bar that is set up in the screen plot in the properties there. I'm not sure if
Yep,
it's the one you're asking about, but there's a in the advanced settings at the
yep.
bottom there. There's that progress
Mm.
indicator type.
So I have a good I've had good experience with um using a third-party tool called Dynamic Flow Progress Bar. I believe it's available on unofficial SF, or at least you can find a link there. And what's kind of cool about that is that what it does is it takes a text string to build your progress bar, and it's reactive. So if you say have 5 checkboxes on the screen, and you're looking to effectively, if I'm understanding you right, put the text of the 3 checkboxes that are checked into the progress bar. You basically can write a formula that will build a text string that you can pass to this progress bar, and it'll morph. So if you uncheck a box and then check another box, it'll take the one you unchecked out and put the other one back in. As long as you can build that text string using
Right.
some kind of a formula,
Right.
it works fantastic. I've had really good luck with it. So it
Okay.
might be something to look into. I
Yeah.
haven't, and to be fair, I know nothing about the flow piece because the flow progress bar, because that dynamic flow progress bar has literally solved every one of my problems. So I've never
Gotcha.
seen the need to go away from it, but somebody on this call who's way smarter than me about what comes out of the box with Salesforce can certainly probably solve it. But that has worked wonders for me.
Sure.
Could I
I
ask a
will.
follow-up question on
I'm
that really quick? So are you saying that you basically create a string that basically says true, false, or something, and then it formats those character strings into like a colored box or a wingding or something
Yeah, it's
or
a
blanks?
it's a semicolon delimited string, and each thing within the semicolons becomes part of the progress bar.
Got it. That's
So then
neat.
you just
Okay.
basically concatenate, you concatenate, you loop through the checkbox group, and you concatenate the values on that for the ones that are checked into a semicolon delimited string, put that string in, and bam, it just shows. And I've gotten to where it's like flops them around. So like if you do 1 and 2, and then you do three and you want three to come up first, it can flop it around and make that happen. It can do some really nifty stuff.
I'll definitely look into it. Thanks.
Yeah. I love that because it doesn't have to be tied to checkboxes then either. Like instead of true falses, you can evaluate anything on the screen and make the progress bar grow appropriately without even knowing. Like what is the address complete? You could have 3 or 4 fields filled in and know how to handle it. I like this a lot.
So my memory failed me. It's not a semicolon delimited list. It's a comma delimited list. But effectively, any way you want to create a comma delimited list, you're in business. Whether it's checkboxes or screen text, you can have them input things. Any comma delimited list you can come up with, that flow progress bar will take it.
Okay.
So can we jump back though? So the progress bar that you were using that's native.
Right.
I've never used that. So what is it? Is that the progress of the screen flow or is it progress of field capture? Like, if you've
Progress
got
of the
10 screens, is
screen.
it just saying how many screens you've moved through?
Right.
Okay.
It's by screen. And what I did was, just so you guys know, is after my checkbox screen, my initial screen, I have a decision element that says, okay, and it says, sorry.
That's all right.
Can't talk today. It's Friday. I have a progress bar that says, okay, stay with different outcomes in the decisions. So I'm saying, okay, 1, 2, 3, and 5. 1, 2, all 5. If all 5 equals true, then go here. And then if 1 and 2 are here, and I figured out that I had to reverse it to make it even start to work. And it started to work, but now I'm getting this weird behavior, and I don't know whether I'm missing something. All it does is, route me through the decision element. I wonder if I need to put something after it. I mean, I can show you the flow, without going through the data, obviously for proprietary reasons. If that'll help.
I mean, I think it will definitely help us understand what you're describing, and maybe we can give you
Yeah.
some feedback.
All right. Appreciate it. I'm getting sharing's not turned on. Or I
Uh-oh.
need to send request.
Sorry, I thought I did it.
Liar.
I thought I did it. I'll take care of it right now.
No worries. All right. Let me just make sure I get the right screen. There we go. All right. So this is my initial screen that says, okay, these 2 are always checked. These 3 are empty. And then what I did was I've got a decision element here that says, if 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are true, then go this route. If 1, 2, and 1, I came up with somehow I came up with all the permutations, but anyway, 1, 2, 4, and 5 are true, then go that way. And I did this, across all the, and then so what should happen here is when I go to here, there's your bar, there's the bar, and I want to see, and I do see the feed, like the names. I see company financials. I see, deal read. I see milestones, but it's just, it doesn't behave, like if if I chose just 1 and 2, it seems to work fine again. But if I get to something else, like some other combination of that 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, and 5, heck, all 5, it just doesn't look right. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't behave correctly. And then so again, they show up on all the screens. This is the second page of it. This is again where they're just entering the opportunity itself. And then when they get to the next screen, again, this is if the company financials, and again, they should show up going across. That's sort of what I'm up against.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that helps at all, but
Would you go back to one of the decisions, just like the
yeah,
like the very so I'm sorry, like the actual decision tree.
This one.
Yeah. So I just wanted to check. So do you have both trues and falses for every one of the numbers for every one of the decisions?
Ooh, I don't.
So you have to evaluate the falses, otherwise you're only checking for half of it,
Okay.
right? So
All
like
right.
for
So
example,
they,
let's say you're on the 1, 2, 4, but
yeah.
you also checked five, 3. It when it gets to that first one, it's going to be like, oh, that's true. Take that, take the first path. So you have to include 1 is true, 2 is true, 3 is false, 4 is true, 5 is true. You have to do that if you're going to do this. I don't think I like this. It's not as elegant as maybe it could be, but you
Yep.
definitely have to include all 5 variables.
And that makes sense for why probably 1 and 2 is working because it sees 1 and 2 is working, and boom, there 1 and 2 comes up. Period.
Yep.
And which is switching the order helped, like you said. But I see your point about the false.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll let me throw that in there and see if that helps. That might
Um,
help as
I
well.
wonder if you couldn't just evaluate the combination of like the trues and falses and have almost like a case statement in a formula that says if 1 is true and 2 is true and 3 is true and 5 is true, it equals X and take that path versus trying to make sure you've got every permutation. You could just evaluate at any state the trueness of those 5 values. There might be a way to make it be a little bit more. I mean, what I'm worried about is this works, and then as soon as you add 6, now you have to
Yeah.
exponentially do this, and it's impossible to maintain. So if there's a way
I
to do
got
it
it.
with a
Yeah.
string like what Scott was talking about, or some sort of mathematical case statement that just figures it out for you with one formula versus infinite formulas, that would be suggested.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I think if you add the falses, you're going to get success. But I think
Okay.
you then have tech debt that you should evaluate after you deploy it.
And and I'm not a fan of tech debt.
No,
It's been a pet peeve for a long time.
I
So, all
bet.
right, fair enough. I'll look into that case statement, but I'll also try the falses just to see if I can get somewhere at least.
Yeah,
And
I'm certain if you do in that second option, if you add 3 is equals false, it'll
yeah.
work, and then you'll know
Okay.
right away.
The only way you can get away with something like this is if, as you go down the line, is where the further down you go, it restricts to just what could be true because outcomes evaluate from the top down. So if you did, hey, everything is true, and then hey, everything but this one is true, and then everything but this one is true, then it might work. But it's a lot clearer to just have everything true false.
Yeah, agreed.
And should the false, are you saying that like, the true should be on the top and then the false on the bottom?
If it doesn't really make a difference if you have each of the criteria, I would do that for my own sanity's sake. But that's just because of how my brain works.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Do you want to see that dynamic flow progress bar in action? I have a proof of concept flow I wrote.
Absolutely. Yeah, why not?
Sure. Bill, before you go,
Yeah.
one other thing you could try here, just going back to that sustainability thing. If you build a formula that basically just builds a number based on trues and falses, and then you just say if the value is equal to 1,234, do this. If it's equal to 1,245, do this.
Oh, wow.
Like that's kind of what you're doing. But if you want to do it with a formula and you handle all the possible decision combinations, you still have quite a few.
Okay.
But anyway, show Scott, go ahead and do
Yeah,
do your magic.
Yeah, I'm trying to stop sharing here. There it is. You know,
Just looking at how to share.
Yeah. And for some reason it will not let me group share, so you have to request share.
And,
Should be in the bottom next to like the heart and the participants.
oh, got it. Looking in the wrong spot. See what I can do here.
There it is.
Okay. So this doesn't do exactly what you're talking about. However, wrong flow. This is the flow. The so what this does is I've got 5 options that could be on the display bar. And so this flow is using these. And in this case, it differs a little bit from your use case because it's going to show all of them all the time. What this does is depending on what you check. So in this particular use case, it presented the user with a bunch of tasks, and the tasks were grouped. And so there was a group that was part of the agreement. And when all those tasks are done with the agreement, that stage is completed, move on. The thing was that you can do the stages out of order. So let's just say, for example, you did new and welcome plan and presentation and account opening. What this would do, so when I run the flow, or when I go next on the flow, again, this is proof of concept. It basically lines a progress bar up. So new, welcome plan and presentation, and account opening. It reordered the progress bar to make it match what it was doing, and everything that was completed moved to the left, and everything that wasn't completed stays on the right. So in this case, I had completed everything except for agreement and close, and that's where it stayed. But you can see here, so this is what I checked. I checked new, welcome plan and presentation, account opening, agreement and close were unchecked. The steps, all 5 of them, here's the comma separated list I was talking about. And so as long as you can pass this progress bar, this list, however you determine what that list is, it's going to only put those items in the bar. And all you have to do is order the list the way you want it to, and it'll give you exactly what you're looking for. So what this ends up being is a dynamic progress bar that shows you what you've completed, irrespective of the order in which you've completed it. And for my use case, it worked great. I'm not sure if that will work great for you, but it did. And then these are 2 iterations of that bar. It's got the traditional progress bar across the top, and it also builds this if you want it to. So it builds this as a progress bar as well, which I thought might be kind of nifty in some applications. For example, you could throw it um, in a right-hand panel or something like that, instead of taking up all the screen real estate across the top, throw it in the right panel, and away you go. So that is a suggestion. What Squire said about using out of the box, that's always preferred, right? But this worked great for me.
Okay. I'll definitely look into this. That's for sure.
Okay.
Thank you much.
And if you need to refresh it, the recording will be posted whenever Squire gets around to
Yeah.
it.
Really quick before we move on to the next one, I also want to call out we had a long conversation last Thursday after our good friend Linda presented at my user group about tech debt isn't always bad. It's okay to have tech debt and be okay with tech debt. You don't have to hate tech debt, Bill. Because it's more about, I feel like tech debt is more of it shows how aware you are of the state of your environment, and don't compare them with bugs. So tech debt, definitely just a thing. So anyway.
Until you trip over like a 2x4 on a work site.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Come on.
that's different. Yes, when someone's swinging it. So,
Uh-huh.
all right. Thanks, Bill. Thanks everybody for helping out.
Thanks, folks. Thanks. Yep.
Oh, we still got 30 minutes to go, Squire. Who's up next?
Yeah. I didn't see Sarah join. Did I?
I don't think so.
I did
No.
not. Okay.
We have Scott, Sharon. Those
Yep.
are the S's.
If there was a really old post that Sarah kind of dug back up out of the ground, and Eric Smith was involved with regarding a unofficial SF component, and I was hoping we could talk to her about it. But if she shows, great, and if not, it's a pretty good read. Jay, it's to you. There was this flow error that I think you also solved on your own, or you still need hand with?
Well, after I posted my issue, I took a step back and I tried to, before I got started and trying to resolve it, using the suggestions that were made, I took a step back. I tried to replicate the issue, and I'm not able to. I'm not able to replicate the issue. So I'm not able to see the error messages, and then from there, be able to like run the flow using the solution that I created. Uh, so I'm kind of stuck right there. I was thinking, so basically, let me take a step back and kind of explain my issue here. Um, so I have a flow that updates the opt-in date, I'm sorry, email opt-in date, text opt-in date, and then from there, can we like a checkbox to say, can we simply communicate with these people at all? Based on those two uh, values. Okay. Um, so it has like three different decision trees. I flattened everything based on the feedback that I got, um, posting my issue. I flattened it, um, but since I'm not able to replicate the issue, I'm not sure um, what solution will work. I've also been told that um, my manager asked me if using collection would be better than flattening the flow itself. So,
Okay.
a couple of different things going on there.
Do you remember what the original error, or the original experience you were having was before you fixed it?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is request limit exceeded, and then it says concurrent per org long text limit exceeded. So I will post this into the chat here.
And that was coming on, like you were basically trying to do your update and it was failing after that.
Yeah, so what I noticed is that in this error message, a lot of the times it's like, for example, the email opt-in date, it takes the default outcome. The text opt-in date, it needs to update that one. So the third option, since the first two options weren't not the first two options weren't met, both of them, the
Mhm.
third option takes the default. So basically, it only tries to update the text opt-in date, but it fails at that point, trying to actually perform the update.
And when you rebuilt, you let's see, how do I ask this? Were there other technical changes other than reorganizing the way the flow was built? I mean, like, do you feel like I guess what I'm asking is, do you feel like was there a fat finger in the original flow that just got solved by rebuilding it, or do you feel like it's because you rebuilt it that it solved itself? Like, where's your head at?
Well, I don't think that my dog's gonna go crazy in about a second here. Um, okay, so I don't think that there was an issue. I don't think there was a fat finger when I rebuilt it.
Okay.
I did like add in additional criteria so that uh, the first option, basically the first option is like email opt-in date. That one, if that one needs to be updated and the text opt-in date does not need to be updated, then take the first route. Kind of basically making the decision tree a little bit more complex since there were one decision tree versus three. But to answer your question, no, I don't think there was a fat finger. Um, I think that it was built kind of correctly. If
Yeah.
there isn't a lot of records that need to be reviewed.
Okay. Um,
Brian Kwong.
yeah, Brian, you found that so the error is a transaction error. It's not so it sounds like something was running along. Brian, did you want to take it?
No, I was just saying what the error was.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I would have to look and see to try to figure. But the Salesforce basically says anything that takes longer than 5 seconds is a
Right.
long transfer, and you can
Yep.
only have so many of those. And I think it's 10 is the limit if I'm reading the doc right. Which
Yep.
means the 11th batch that hits that's taking more than 5 seconds, you hit your governor limit. So, um, the without knowing much of anything of what you're trying to do, the first knee jerk would be reduce the number of records that are going through the system, right?
Which
Or
it sounds like, Jay, what you were by changing your decision tree, you've done that by maybe on accident. I don't know if that was the intent, but like, right,
Yeah.
you reduce the list to Brian's point. Mike, you were nodding. You want to
Yeah.
jump in here?
Well, you created efficiencies. When you said you added complexity, you went from like one decision to three. You're by increasing how conditional you made it, you are reducing the amount of transaction that each individual record needs to
Right.
process to conclusion.
uh,
So you made each run shorter, even though the
on
flow itself
average.
is more, yeah. So the flow is
So,
more complicated, but each record gets through it faster, lower concurrent transactions.
and here's my dilemma. Like in UAT, the last time this error message occurred was like back in November. In
Yeah,
production, the last time it occurred was like 2 weeks ago. So it's
sure.
much more recent in production, but
Well,
it's just
sure.
trying to like confirm that in UAT before I move it. Um,
I think the
is
challenge
my
is that it's so conditional. Like unless you know the exact circumstance that it threw in your production that you can recreate that in UAT, you're not going to be successful. Like sometimes it's just literally you just had a batch of records that just had the exact right criteria to
yeah.
result in them every single one of those records having to go through the entirety of the flow from beginning to end,
Mhm.
and that was enough to push you over the edge. I
Yeah,
mean,
and so one of the things that I've done is I've updated I've updated 1,000 records to all meet this criteria to hopefully fail, and 1,000 isn't enough. It's they're all being updated. So
Yeah.
maybe I need to go to 10,000. I don't know.
Well, but so one of the reasons why this type of problem is difficult to create in UAT is that you're trying to create it by yourself.
mhm.
If everybody on the call tried to do, 200, but we all tried on our own at the same time or nearly the same time, we would break it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
right when I hopped on, I said, "Hey, have you tried this asynchronous?" So I think most automation, probably all automation, sorry users, doesn't actually need to happen right now. It could all happen in like 1 second to 10 seconds from
Blasphemy.
now. Right. But if you make this asynchronous, you will probably never have an issue
Well, it also
just
increases
because
your record limit size too.
it does. It dramatically increases the amount of time you can take. But there's an enqueuing process that sort of will keep you in a safe space
Now,
because synchronously, it's trying to do everything right now.
I'm going to add this though. I have suspicions that there is a failure behind the flow for async processes because I have a circumstance where I had 9 asynchronous different flows firing almost at the same time, and they would randomly not be successful with absolutely no error.
Like they were failing to enqueue.
No, as in it looks like the automation starts up, but they never finish. But not every single one. So it'll be like seven of them fail, 7 of them make it, 3 of them didn't, right? But it's never the same 3, which
Hmm.
makes me suspect that there's something with asynchronous flows that are not in queuing the same as a queuable interface with Apex.
They definitely have a different mechanism. I feel like there is a governor limit there.
It's the lack of an error message that makes me suspect.
Well,
Yeah, well, and it may be that it has nowhere to go, so it fails silently.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. But like, I am reminded I had a professor who looked at a class of delinquents that I was a part of and said, "You are each damaged in a unique way." And And I want to say that to you now. Whatever you have done, you have damaged your org in a very unique way. Because like the failure to enqueue a record would mean that it didn't enter the asynchronous path. And so if it wasn't filtered, right,
It-
which I would be able to
yeah.
catch in a log, I'd be able to
And
find
this
that,
is one
right?
thing we actually built a log to do that, and it got enqueued. It just didn't finish.
It was
So
enqueued, but then never like picked up for
according to
processing.
yep, according to the custom log creation, it enqueues. That's why I'm thinking that there's
Yeah.
something that goes on that fails silently.
Yeah.
Which is
Well,
why
this is
I just say, like, if you're gonna go
Yeah.
asynchronous, check to make sure what your criteria is, so you're not firing off 20 asynchronous calls all at the same time because the criteria is identical.
yeah. Well, you could always just email John Kucera and let him know.
I
And
did.
be like, hey, my guy.
Yeah, leaning back to Jay's question, and I don't remember how they work. Would the governor limit, is it platform level or is it transaction or interface of the flow limit? So like, could Jay be hitting a limit caused by another process running at the same time as when he's testing this flow in production?
Because all Apex shares governor limits, the answer is yes.
Yes.
And I
Right.
think that's why, like, maybe he can't get it to happen in UAT because he's not dealing with users in prod like he is in UAT.
Yeah, like there's definitely a concurrency to this.
Yeah.
Right. It is and that's why, like, I mean, Jay, you've got how many users in your production instance?
125.
But they're all hammering the same objects.
Same objects, yes.
Yeah. I mean, you've got the recipe for it because it only takes 6.
Yeah.
And the thing about long running transactions are that, they don't even need to be simultaneous. They just need to be concurrent. So if one transaction stretches to 4 seconds, if they're 4 seconds on average, right? Then it's very easy to do because that just means literally one row of people sitting at their desks, clicking the button before they hop off to lunch, right? But this is why asynchronous is going to help, because the enqueue process, generally speaking, outside of, Brian's broken org, is pretty sturdy. Like it works really well. So I wouldn't have any concerns about enqueuing records to have them be processed later. The other thing is it's a terrible experience if you click save and your screen is spinning for 4 seconds. Like that tells me we are doing too much. So I would want to shift things. Yeah, seriously.
Go have some of those 12 tons of Kit Kat.
Half a
Well,
second's
and
too
the
long
reason
from a user experience.
Yeah. The reason I asked the question is
Yeah.
is it possible that Jay discovered a different problem while testing this flow? Like maybe he's got bad Apex running at the same time that has
It
nothing
could-
to do with what he's working on, but it's causing the actual error.
It could be that there's nothing wrong.
Right,
It's
yeah.
just that because it's that transaction is resulting in multiple flows, multiple triggers, or whatever else getting called at the same
Right.
time, that is what's resulting. I mean, and that's the other thing that Mike's point. If you throw this flow into async, then you're also separating that other automation that's already firing on the immediate terms, separating that with that flow. And if that's what's happening, that will also fix the problem.
Do you by any chance have any like crazy things happening in your org on these related objects, like Apex sharing?
No.
No.
Like you're using simple means to share these records?
Yes.
Because sharing is oftentimes like that is a very thirsty process.
Or a weird call out that could be causing a long delay too, right?
Call outs.
I mean, if you're waiting for the call out, then yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But that's
But-
synchronous call outs are
Yeah, but if you're
Don't do
also
that.
if you're also like hey, I have this, I save this record, and that results in a get that could get thousands of records at once that you're then looping through,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
has the
yeah,
same
Somewhere else,
impact.
right? Yeah, yeah.
Right.
yeah, yeah. I mean, without seeing the flow.
Yeah.
I'm
Jay,
glad you
when you have
accidentally fixed
time.
it.
Yeah.
It sounds like I have a couple of different options.
Yeah.
Move the flat flow to production without really, I guess, without really testing it in UAT.
I mean, you've
Or
tested it in
run it
UAT, but
asynchronously.
you've identified a bug elsewhere, maybe. It's not that you didn't test it. You've tested thoroughly. It's just you're not getting the same response in UAT as you are in prod because there's something else, right?
Well, I mean, I did test it. It is updating the records,
Yeah.
right? Successfully.
Yeah, but
I
to Squire's point, your test scenario is this. What may be happening in production is this, because it's not just the flow that's firing.
Yeah.
Right. And so what we know, if whenever you run a scenario where it's like this happens in production, but I can't have it happen in the sandbox, it's usually because of the fact that your inputs are not identical
Right.
in your sandbox as what's your production. And that can be insanely difficult to replicate. Right. And especially if it's a scenario where it's long running, you're testing as one person, right?
Yeah.
If you have 6 people running the same tests that you're running at the same time, then you might get the error message because now you are kicking out those long running transactions and you have enough of them firing at the same time to cause the error. I think you just have a circumstance where it's really hard to replicate because you can't replicate real world functionality as an individual, right? Like, I'm not even sure you could do this in a unit test.
You mean create a long running transaction? Hold my
Well,
beer.
yeah, but you know what? I don't think you can replicate 6 users actively running at the same time.
That's a little bit harder.
Yeah. Right. If you had a team of people that you trust in your sandbox, you could set everyone up with a scenario and go, okay, everyone, on the count of 3, we're going to push the button. But
And the other option is to, like Mike, you're saying, run it asynchronously.
I mean, if I were architecting it and somebody on my team said, I just ran into this issue, the first thing I would say to them is, how much of your flow is asynchronous? And when they say none of it, I'm going to go, okay, come back when all of your flow is asynchronous and we'll see if there's an issue. Because the first thing that's going to come out of my mouth, and I'm going to tell people, broadly speaking, nothing you need to automate is synchronous until you prove to me that it has to happen right now, because it's mission critical that it happen now.
And it also doesn't sound like anything I can do in UAT is gonna show me that I can both turn it on and off.
By yourself, this will be very difficult to do because you are one person, and no matter what your one person does, it's hard for you to be concurrent with yourself. Right. It's not impossible, but it is very difficult.
Not many users.
You are many things, but yet just one J.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you.
Keep it posted. We all learn because we learn. So.
We all pick up something new.
Yeah.
It's all fun. It's all great. We had one more, didn't we?
It was.
Oh no, Sarah. We did
only
have 3,
Sarah,
but
yeah.
Sarah, was having, better plans today than talking to us for lunch.
Well, you know what? I think, if possible, I mean, I would love to use the 10 minutes to just kind of celebrate a little bit, right?
I mean, I think that's fantastic. Squire.
I mean, we've got some of the old school stars here. We've got a lot of people who have been really influential in the community for many years. I think, I mean, I don't know how we're going to do that, but I mean, I know there's some people on this call that have been really influential on my career and my success and the reason I'm on this call. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to say thank you enough to them, but thank you. I hope other people feel the same about other people on this call and in the world. So
Would it be too arrogant if we just start saying you're welcome, Squire?
No, not at all. Not
well,
at
it
all.
wouldn't be incorrect. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I hope I'm just going to share I've had multiple opportunities where people who have been part of this call have seen me at a TDX or a Dreamforce and just said thank you. And
Mhm.
there's something so like that sticks with you. Like when the light bulb goes on and I was part of that, that is something that I hope never goes away in whatever I do in my career. And as long as everyone on this call feels the same way, I think we're doing the right things. So thank you, everyone, for being part of that.
Well, I already owe Steve Moe like a brewery, so
Yes, we all do, I think.
Don't we all? Yep.
And
I mean, if you've all abused the power of one, thank you to Steve for sharing that with us once upon a time.
Yeah,
It
And
was
then-
so good, Salesforce stole it.
Right.
that's
They
true.
tried. They tried to.
Well, credit where credit is due, though. Like a lot of people give me credit for inventing it, but I learned it at my first Dreamforce.
Mhm.
I was in an analytics workshop at Dreamforce '09, led by Tom Tobin, and he showed it, and my jaw hit the floor.
Mhm.
So I'm just this humble apostle spreading the gospel.
You just made sure the rest of the ecosystem knew it, and that's amazing.
Yeah, because it was before we all had, access to everything all the time.
But what does that say about the pulpit of Steve Moe that he learned something at Dreamforce and no one remembers it, but we all remember Steve Moe sharing it?
Well,
I'm the dude in that FedEx commercial where like the guy says the thing and everybody ignores him, and then the guy leading the meeting says the exact same thing but makes like a subtle hand gesture, and everybody is just like clapping and it's like, wait a minute, I said the exact same thing. All you did was say it, repeat it, and do this, and like wave your hands. Somebody else pointed out, no, he did a different hand gesture, and everybody was like, yeah, like
Fantastic. Fantastic. The so Jay, you talked to us in Chicago. Aurora, I just saw you on Wednesday in Chicago, didn't I? Yes. And Mary, I saw you last week in Chicago. It's been a great week. I've seen so many people this week. But I am going to echo Squire's comments, and I appreciate all of you for being here. And the first time I joined MVP Office Hours, it was when I was in the throes of being a solo admin at a company who had never hired a Salesforce professional in any way, shape, or form. And I was trying to expand my knowledge and not feel like I was banging my head against the wall alone. So joined the call a lot and was a fly on the wall. And Dale and Jared and Jackie, you too, were all very generous with your kindness and welcoming nature with everyone. And Dale's whiteboard like is stuck in my head because he used to just like scrawl all over that thing. And over the years, it went from white to like not so white, but he used it a lot and used to diagram everything for us. But I'm really grateful for the time that I've spent with MVP Office Hours and all of you that have come in and out of like our doors, I should say, Roy Squire. Like, are they their doors? I don't know. But the continuity, like every other week, seeing all of you and the learning that everyone kind of goes through and the light bulb moments we all have, really, really makes me happy about sharing the space and making sure that everyone has a place to go because like it's not the same, like I feel like we really like it changed after COVID. Like we got bigger, more people showed up, but we also got more video heavy, I think too. Everyone started like saying hi a little bit more and being more comfortable on camera because I do remember, was it Ready Talk that
oh yeah.
that Joshua had sponsoring early on in the days because that's who he worked for or whatever. And so it's good stuff. It's good stuff. We all went from like these like faceless voices to like smiling people that I recognize at events. So grateful for you all. Thank you for joining us for 300 because when I realized we were hitting 300 this year, I was like, what? What is happening?
You know, and I don't know about you, Squire, but I know coming into things like this or doing the user group meetings and having people present problems and challenge is just as beneficial to me because one, it forces me to stay on my toes. I probably learned just as much from people go, oh, I didn't know that was there. Like, I'm going to be honest, I didn't know that progress bar was there today, Bill, until you showed it. Like, I must have missed it when I read this release notes in spring because I don't remember it.
The release notes, it's just 1 or 2 pages. How'd you miss it?
Well, because it wasn't my turn to do the user group presentation on release notes that year. That's the real reason.
It wasn't in
right?
the top 5 like release note items that you
Right.
like highlighted. Yes.
But
Yeah.
like Scott, he worked for our organization that was former one of my customers, and he brought the best questions and the best challenges every single phone call that it made me to have to stop and think, okay, how do I need to solve this? How do I address this? And then how do I explain it to someone? Because it's the cliche of you learn by teaching.
Mhm.
And heavens knows that if it wasn't for a lot of the people's questions, my career would have stopped 15 years ago because I ran out of things to think about. And the community keeps bringing up new things.
So yeah, someone asked me, they're like, how can I get hands-on experience? I'm like, well, you should come join our call and then get your dev org and solve it. Like, and do it. Take the challenge and put in a dev org and solve for it. And then turn around and speak to how you fixed it. So it's
Or how you didn't fix it.
or you're just
how
what
you
you
made it
learned.
worse.
What you learned. Like, there's so many ways to tackle things beyond the spoon feeding of Trailhead, right? Like come get some real world challenges and
stuff isn't broken in Trailhead.
I don't know.
You
I'm
know,
still
like,
waiting for my
if you-
there's some stuff
certification.
broken in
Yeah.
Trailhead.
There's
But
plenty
like,
of things broken in
you
Trailhead.
know,
Like you've logged into it, right?
like they that might be some content that they should think about. Like load a dev org with a badly constructed report that's going to show inaccurate results.
I
and
can't even
fix it.
believe this transition you're
Steve,
teeing
did you
up for
not
me.
see the new technical debt one?
Oh, no, I haven't seen that one yet. Is it got is there an org preloaded with crappy data?
Yes, Steve,
Oh.
I did this. I worked on the badge.
Oh,
It's
really?
now live in Trailhead. Yes.
Okay. All right.
You worked on the badge. You did the whole thing.
You have to pull down the crappy org special for this badge.
The accessibility badge has some of that in it as well.
Mhm.
The new don't break the accessibility of the platform badge has some stuff of go fix this screen flow.
We should find all the orgs that have that you pull down all the badges where you pull down a crappy org special to fix. And
that would be almost every special org.
I just messaged the person that does all the flow Trailhead modules to say you should put together one where everything's broken. We have to fix it.
I mean,
I think
there are enough times when if you're an early person to do a badge, like one of the first few people, there are plenty of things that don't really work the way they expected them to. I mean, I can tell you some of the messages I've sent. They've been lots of fun.
I think doing it intentionally is a relatively new decision.
So the biggest
yes,
challenge
they've had
we
some beta testing done in the past.
The biggest challenge we had was being able to have workflows turned on, and built into the org farm orgs.
What are workflow rules?
Yeah, those old things that we're not supposed to have anymore. Or
S controls.
That's a Slack feature now.
That's a Slack feature.
Slack
called workflow.
Salesforce workflows are dead, right? But we had to create them in the orgs so that you could turn them off. It was a thing. It was a whole thing. So thank you all for joining us today. Happy 300. You're all part of a historical moment. We appreciate you being here. I don't have confetti to her around, all that good stuff. I mean, if I threw the things, I've got Raisinets, I think, over here, but I'm not gonna do it.
We should have all
Um,
had gotten pieces of cake or pie or something for this.
Well, you go have some
Yeah.
cake or pie or jelly beans or whatever floats your boat. And Steve, make sure that you don't have a hollow rabbit because you deserve a solid rabbit. Solid chocolate. There you go. Allison's got donuts for
Got a
Data. I
donut.
love it. So happy 300, everyone. Happy Friday. We will
Happy
talk
Easter.
to you.
Same.
You betcha. All who celebrate the Easter stuff. Happy Easter. And if you'll be at TDX, please say hi to Squire and I because well, there's a lot of people there and
Yeah.
everyone's out of context. So be like, say hi.
Yeah, don't forget that we only know each other because of 2-inch squares. If we don't immediately recognize you, it's not your fault.
Thank you for
And I have-
continuing to host.
Yeah, I have no
Jackie,
idea
thank
how
you.
tall
I'm-
everyone
We're
is
so glad
either,
to be
so.
part of this. So thank you.
All right, bye,
Thank you.
friends.
Bye, all.
Take care, all.
Bye. Oh, I love that
Bye.
laugh. I love that laugh. That just makes my Friday.
Have a great day. We'll
Hey,
see everyone
you-
later.
Are you coming to Dreaming in Data?
I don't know yet. I
It's
don't know yet.
Chicago. It's not that far.
Well, I know, but like I have work. I have work.
Does
so-
that work?
Are you
all
coming,
right.
Squire?
I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to.